In this video, you are going to learn what is a stave. Let's jump into it. The stave. A stave has 5 parallel horizontal lines and 4 spaces, and it looks like this. So we have 5 parallel lines and 4 spaces. Each of these lines and spaces represents a different musical pitch, depending on the clef that is used. And now, pitch and clef I will discuss in detail in other videos, but I will give you a quick explanation of pitch and clef because I think they are going to help you understand better the purpose of a stave. So the question is, what is pitch? The pitch of a sound is how high or low a sound is. For example, a female voice has a high pitch compared to a male's voice. And to notate these differences on a stave, we use different clefs. This is the treble clef that is used for high-pitched sounds. And this is the bass clef used for low-pitched sounds. So basically those two clefs are the most common clefs used in music. When you write the notes down on a line, it should look like this. And by the way, it sounds like this. And when you write the notes down on a space, it should look like this and sounds like this. Did you notice how clean are the writings of these notes on a stave? We can say that these notes are properly written down. So when you write the notes on the line, you need to make sure that the line goes through the center of the note head. In example number 1, the first note on your left is properly written, however, not so much for the second and third, because the line is not going through the center of the note head. Instead, it's going above or below the center. It doesn't really look so tidy. And when you write the notes on a space, you need to make sure that the note is centered in the space and touching the line above and below, and try not to overlap the notes. In the example number 2, the first note is correct, but not so much for the second and third. They are not touching the line below and above, but rather is slightly written on the line. So remember, written properly on a stave will make the reading of the score much more pleasant and will look much cleaner. However, if you don't take care about your writing, the music will look confusing, will look messy and untidy. Now, I ask you this question to you. Why do we need a stave? Well, I think you already figured it out. The answer is quite simple. It's because we need to register the music. And there are 4 main points that I think is important to know. The first one is the stave is used to register different pitches. The second is to remind us of melodies and harmonies. Number 3 is to register different time values of notes and rests. And number 4 is to register different dynamics and other techniques. And I will be covering this in later videos. I have another question for you that is related with historical background. When was the first music written down? Well, it's kind of a tricky question, but the first proof of written music comes from ancient Greece and Rome around the 6th century before Christ. Have a look at the example number 1. The Delphic hymns basically was 2 musical compositions dedicated to god Apollo. The god Apollo was the god of healing, music and dance, truth and prophecy. But it doesn't really mean that there was no music before this time. Anyway, if you want to know more about this topic, I will leave a link in the description below. Our stave system has its roots from the 11th century, growing from the Gregorian chant, a type of singing that was connected to the church. Guido d'Arezzo was the person that decided to create a line, like this example over here, this red line, and make that a reference of pitch. And notes could go below or above that line to produce other pitches. If you want to know more, I will also leave a link in the description below. basically, after this, it started to grow even more. So instead of one line, we start using 4 lines and eventually to 5 lines. There is another thing to know is about the ledger lines. They are an additional line that you can use to extend the range of the staff and add more pitches, but that's another topic that I will cover in another video. Right, now I leave this short exercise for you to practice drawing these notes on the stave. You can copy this to any paper that you have at home or use any other method that you find more convenient for you. I hope you find this video useful. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe to my channel. If you want more exercises to test your knowledge, download my free Music Theory Grade 1 workbook. There will be a link below this video. Thank you so much, and I see you next time. Bye bye!